Anuj, welcome to Sustainability Next Dialogue series. This series is meant to uh, get founders and entrepreneurs to share their journey uh, with the larger audience. Uh, First, as an entrepreneur, and secondly, as investor as well, and also journey of innovations and ups and downs and whatever that goes into the journey of an entrepreneur. So, have briefly told you what Sustainability Next is about. Uh, it is a fortnightly e-magazine uh, read by close to 70,000 readers every fortnight. And we want to grow, we want to make it much larger. So the first question to you is uh, from a traditional HR talent and hiring company, you have incorporated the AI element into this. So everybody's speaking about the AI today. And give me your open remarks just to begin with. What is the experience? What was the experience like?
So I think it's a. I think we've actually built an organization and we've been all using AI. We've always found what a lot of AI. Personally, as well as an organization point of view, we believe the world is always gonna be about the AI plus human.
Yeah,
The industry, I think, so when internet came in, .com became a net we asked everyone to have, and business cannot run on. A lot of new business opportunities were created with .com.
yeah,
I think AI presents an equal or even a bigger opportunity because of the breadth which AI can cover. So one is the side of the business we do, and then there are a lot of actions and things which can get augmented with human. So from an individual user to an enterprise organization, AI can create a significantly larger impact, and which means if you are in, or you're trying to do anything and not using AI properly, not going to be as effective. I believe personally, or one simple thought: if you can do more, you should do. And AI enables you to do more, which means you should use AI to do.
yeah, of course, of course. So does it mean that HR departments are going to shrink significantly? Already, they have quite.
And it's not about being shrunk. I think it's all about being more productive. So the way I would rather want to look at is yeah. So rather than four people doing a job, it's two people able to do a four people job. The more organization will be able to optimize, and as humans, as individuals, we'll be able to be more productive. One side of it, if you look at it, means less job. But as I said, when you can do more, you should do more. So organizations also will follow that balance where they would want, though, if there are four HR leaders, can they figure out those HR leaders or HR individuals? Can they do more for the organization? And if that's not really possible, then it becomes redundant. But to my outlook, as I said, when you and your competitors are doing more, you will, or your competitors are doing more, you will end up doing more. So, and in creation, it's going to benefit everyone. There is a turmoil period for sure. We'll talk a lot about that turmoil in the next couple of years. But once that's done, it's only going to create more productive humans. It's going to create a lot more opportunity creation because more is.
So how bad will the turmoil be? I think that's what people are.
It would not be bad. How long will that turmoil be?
So the rouse and how bad, yeah.
Because those are periods of uncertainty where you don't know what will happen. Organizations also realize. I mean, it's probably what we've seen in COVID. When COVID came, a lot of people, you immediately saw a lot of people laying off or saying, oh, this and that happening. But then when the dust settled, we had adopted remote working. Everybody had actually moved to working. And suddenly you saw a huge amount of job creation happening because there are new avenues which suddenly opened. There was suddenly earning happening. There was more e-commerce happening. There were more logistic needs. I mean, automatically the opportunity creation. I mean, the turmoil period the length of it is what we should be worried about. And my guess is, with all what is happening and we talked about AI and what being implemented, I think next 1.5 years, we'll see a very, very positive side of.
Mhm. And so, what is it that what is positive? Define what is positive.
So I think there are reports, and these are reports which have been studying, Gartner report and stuff like that. It talks about more jobs being created than the amount of jobs being lost.
Okay.
So right now we are in a phase when the turmoil happens. There is a phase where probably lesser jobs are being created as much as being reduced. But the curve at the rate at which the new jobs will start getting created and is getting created, it will outpace the job loss. So which will automatically mean that AI created more jobs than less. Skill sets are definitely gonna change, and gonna change in very, very big way. Because and then that's not just because of AI per se. I think that's a trend which we have been following as.
Yeah.
I was reading a report, and that report mentioned since 2000 to 2025, 80% of the skill sets which were required in certain jobs at age from what was there in 2000 to 2020. The rate at which that is changing is increased very significantly because of what is happening around AI, or what is not just about AI, but any technology, the way humans are evolving, the way communication is going. Even if you look at any bad cycle, when there was a bad or I would say downturn in the economy, the downturn of economy, the time frame in which those downturns used to happen has reduced significantly. I mean, decades where downturns used to run. It's less than a year and we don't even notice that there was a downturn which happened in between. So it's the same rate. So drawing analogy from that, the rate at which things will evolve is very fast, which means the skills which are there in 2025 in demand will change very significantly by 2030. I cannot give you an estimated number how much would that be, but the guess is 30-40% of those jobs or the skill sets which are there needed today will go through transition by 2030, which would mean that there are more jobs being created, but the skill sets which are required are same. Let me just also add one more idea about the history of these changes. The whole core concept, and I would say human skill in this never changed.
Yeah.
There is value for leadership. There is value for decision making. There is value for empathy. There is value to communication skills. All of this. I mean, more you interact with AI, now you realize that how better you communicate with AI is the output with this. I always say AI is showing the reflection of your mind. Yeah, the better questions you ask the AI, the better results it shows. So if you communicate to the highest level, so communication is not done. So core human skills will remain, as I said, basic concepts, basic physics, basic chemistry, basic biology, everything that continues to remain the same. It's the advanced version which is getting through the evolution.
Okay. So, two questions that arise from what you mentioned. So, you said new jobs are going to be created. How do you define this new job? What are these new jobs?
So these are, as I said, skills. I'm just giving an idea of what is happening around the AI space. For example, suddenly we see a huge rise in prompt engineers. There is a huge job description which says forward deployment engineer. There is job descriptions which are saying ML ops, machine learning operations. And then so many. Then there is a lot of people, suddenly a huge demand of people who can do tagging. So there are new jobs which were not there have been created. I mean, just for example, and I will just try to correlate. I mean, when social media was not there, there was no job called as social media. Correct. There is a job.
Huge jobs.
I know. That is now called performance marketing because now you use social media as a paid channel to push across a lot of information, and that means a great result to the business. So evolution happens, and then this is just part of what happened with social media. But social media may not have as quick impact as today what AI can. So the speed at which it's gonna change or number of jobs it's gonna create weekly. Very, very common. So marketing went through that inflection point where social media marketing happened, right? And then the same thing. Now AI is getting into everything. Be it uh, content writing, be it software development, be it any of the work which you do. There is portion of it which will have AI, which means now your job is going to go through a big change.
Yeah, yeah, understood. So you said that 85% skill sets could become redundant. The bigger,
I think redundant would be a word choice. I would say 85% of those skill sets which were in need today will no longer be needed, but there would be newer skills which will.
yeah, it's I think the English word for that is redundant. Anyway, let's not debate on that. So the larger question there is: do we have capacity yet to reskill these people? Training, are they catching up with this? Is there a huge lag there?
I think there are gaps around it, but I think all the learning companies are seeking it as an opportunity. Okay. Yeah. And and the other way I look at it is that when internet came in, we don't need to teach people how to use websites. Yeah. Yeah. We probably want to understand that these are wrong websites and these are good websites. That's governance. Government will play it, but same way, I think the friendliness of having AI, the skill set is not urgent. How do you augment the work which you are doing with AI? That's the evolution part. And I think if it's an enterprise level, enterprise organizations will know that, hey, I need these people. I'm not going to replace it with a robot completely. I need this person to use that too. So AI is more like a tool, like an internet browser.
But that is the lowest denominator, I guess.
The way it has to change or it is being changing, it's not changing or rewriting the complete skill set out there, right? It may happen over a period, but people will go through the training. And I think organizations are very understanding to it. I think the turmoil period which I mentioned is the turmoil period which is going to be the problem area where organizations will think that I probably need two people to do these tasks and not think that I need to do more. And that we have that. So adoption, I think, will not be such a big problem. India itself, if you look at it as a sector, I mean, OpenAI claims that their second highest users are Indians. Anthropic already mentioned about AI users being extremely high in India, and so on. So when the acceptance rates in India is extremely, which implies that more and more people are hands-on in using AI or getting hands-on in using AI. So I don't think that training or evolution will go through a lot of this thing, but I think wherever it is needed, where we talk about agentic AI and so many other things, there are more and more people seeking it as an opportunity and training. So I don't see a gap coming in a big way when it comes to the learning part of AI.
So do you see a churn in the among the HR companies now? Those who adapt soon and those who are laggards. So that if there are 1,000 HR companies in India, will we see a shrunk?
I may not be able to comment, but I can talk about something which is related to it. From a business point of view, we see 50% higher job demand, which we used to have about a year. Now you can talk it about as a process change. Right? But I let's say we did an improvement in business by 10% or 20% in the way we used to do business. You're still seeing a 30% upward curve compared to last year. Which everybody is saying that, hey, there are jobs being lost. To me, there are already more jobs created, and we are having that with us. Number of open positions are increased.
Is it for the other companies also, or you're just that you're? Is it for you?
My belief is so. When business spreads, then it's the market trend, which so I'm sure there's a market trend. And I'll tell you the other trend which has also happened. And is again not related to any change in the business strategy for Zyoin. We see a 50% up in the average salaries which we have listed by our customers. And this is very numbers, and which means a lot more people are looking for a lot more higher skilled people, which also implies that while the number of jobs are increasing, it also meaning that the number of people with a higher skill or different skill need is changing, which, which means that there is transition which is and it's transitioning which is gonna help and pass through. It might have a turmoil phase, but it will pass through and come and create more jobs.
Do you see cities looking different uh, in a couple of years? Because there's so much churn among the people coming to city, not going away from city. We see that in Bangalore. Uh, do you see such a thing happening?
Even tier one, and I think a lot of companies today are looking at tier two cities as an option to realize that. So what I'm seeing is as economy spreads, there are more cities which are created or more opportunities are created. Once you start seeing event happening, or once you see, I would say, defragmentation of something like that starts happening, and it's good for the economy. I mean, it spreads across more cities. So I think more and more people now working from tier two cities, tier three cities than ever. And so talking of the upper skill or newer job arena, which I'm talking, it's an extremely good trend.